Good afternoon, everybody. Dano the Rust Buster coming at you from Norwich, Connecticut. Today I'd like to go over a couple of things to make sure we're clear on it. And one is the difference between restoration and repair. All you guys that know me, and the reason why I picked you as clients is because you want to enjoy these cars. You're not going to bring them to shows. So that reflects a lot on the products that I use. Some of the sealers and primers, when they come from a body supply shop, they're extremely expensive to the point where it's just ridiculous and it's overkill. So what I did was I went and got the most common products that I use pretty much daily. And I know that most of you guys are hands-on guys and you want to get some work done without me being there, which is fine with me. So at least I figured I could point you in the right direction, what it is I'm using, and why. Let's start with the first items, which are if you have an angle grinder, a 4.5 inch angle grinder, you're going to need a cutoff wheel. I use this one, which is made by Diablo. It's very common at Home Depot. The only problem with it that you would come up with is that when you put this on the angle grinder, the blade is so close to your finger that if you 1 second you're not paying attention, you're going to get cut. Okay, that's the one that I use because they last longer, and I've gotten bitten a couple of times. The alternative is the Diablo 6 inch. This is the one that I would recommend for you guys if you're going to be doing any cutting at all. It's the same quality product, same maker. It's just a little bit smaller and it's not as scary to use. Okay, so if you're going to be cutting your metal, go with the 6 inch Diablo. This is a product that Home Depot also carries. All right, this is Avanti. Do not use this product line for anything, grinding wheel, cutoff disc, or anything. They work horribly. They look the same as the Diablo. They're not even close. They wobble, they shatter, they break, they wear out. It's just a horrible product. I don't use any of theirs, okay? So make sure, don't use the blue label. Diablo, stick with them. They're fantastic. The other Diablo product I use is their grinding wheel. They have a this one I use is a 5 inch. It removes metal quickly. They last long, and it's just a little bit oversized. It's not 4.5 inches. It's 5 inch. So it's gonna last you a good long while. It's just a really good product for that. So after you cut your metal and then grind off anything you're gonna grind, for blending, I use the Diablo flap wheel. These guys are really great. They're a little expensive. They're about $8. But the thing about it is, and it's you get the blue one, okay? The red is aluminum oxide, and this one is, I don't remember, something. It's a harder grit. You know, it's just simply tougher. You can do stainless steel with it. The beauty part about this is that you can lean into it, and it's going to cut just like a grinding wheel, and you can back off pressure, and it's going to feather nice and easy like. So it's really that's the in between grinding and sanding. This is the good flap wheel for that. Okay, after you get done with your grinding and blending, and you have your raw metal open, this is its trade name is Osfo. Okay, and it's basically phosphoric acid, and this is what preps the raw steel. Okay, from the body shop, this is like, I don't know, $20 a quart. At Home Depot, it's $17 a gallon. It's great for anything that has rust on it. It can be around your house, your lawn tractor, your car, whatever. The thing to do is to put it into a spray bottle like I do, and when you're done sanding getting your metal down to bare metal and you've done whatever it is that you're going to do with it, take a buzz sander and hit it with 80 grit. Spray some of that on a rag and wipe it only on the bare metal. Don't put it on the paint, because it's not that it's going to damage the paint. It just doesn't attach to it. And if you go to sand, if you get it on the paint and when you go to sand, it gums up the paper and it's very aggravating. So you don't just go spraying it willy-nilly. You put it right where that is. After it dries for an hour or two, go over it with a Scotch-Brite just to knock off any imperfections or dust that got on there. Again, with your Scotch-Brite, even 220 sandpaper, and you're ready to put on your filler, or what you're ready to move on. If you open up a place where, let's just say it's on a fender, and you cut out a section and behind it there's rust, then you can take your spray and go ahead and douse it pretty good and leave it alone. That rust is not going to come back. As far as your framework goes, there's a few guys that I've been visiting lately, and that's why I'm showing this product, that their frames have got a lot of surface rust on them. That's very typical. Give it your usual wire brush application, Scotch-Brite, the green Scotch-Brite, a good stiff brush, however you want to go about it. There is no, that's a personal preference. And then you can spray this on just enough to cover it. Doesn't have to be sopping wet. You don't want dry spots like that. So, mist it on, get it wherever you want. You don't have to worry about getting it on paint. It's not going to stick to grease or anything like that. After that dries for a couple hours, then you can just go ahead and put some Rustoleum Satin Black on there. Spray it on, brush it on, however you want to go about it. And that's, for a frame, that's pretty much what that's what I do. If there's floor pans or places where you want to undercoat, then you would use the Flex Seal. Flex Seal, this is the one that's as seen on TV. They made the screen bottom boat, painted it with this, and then the thing floats. It really is a great product. Everybody in my industry, all the other car restoration guys, this is what we're using now. The Rustoleum undercoat is now, it's not obsolete. It's just not the go-to product. This stuff, it comes out with really nice, it lays flat, it's got a good thickness to it. When it dries, it's got a nice satin look to it. It's just a really good, so it's basically it's a rubber coating, as opposed to the undercoating, which is more of a petroleum-based product. This one works great. It can be, you could put it in your fender wells, behind bumpers, trunk. I use it a lot on trunks and floor pans, that kind of stuff where there's going to be a carpet. This stuff just works great. Okay. We also have, this one is the Rust Reformer. Okay. I've seen it on the shelf. I've seen people use it before they contact me. I ask them, what's that on there? They go, oh, it's that black rust reformer. I really don't, I haven't used it. It doesn't really, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try it out and see where I can use it. But when it comes to rust primer, and this might have some Osfo in it or something, I really don't know. But I'm going to find out, and I'll do a product review when I'm done on it. If I'm underneath somewhere, like, let's just say a power brake booster, where there's some rust on it, and you're going to paint it. Well, if it's a little bit dressier, like that, an engine compartment, then you clean it up, put your Osfo on there, and then use this one. It's the Rustoleum Rusty Metal Primer, okay, which is actually red oxide. Red oxide is what they put on the cars since Henry Ford first started out. This is what they used as a to treat the metal, the bare metal. Osfo is a must for body panels because you got paint involved and you don't want any lifts. This one is a little bit more rugged. In other words, you know, engine compartments, your upper and lower control arm bushings, upper and lower control arms, radiator supports, battery trays. After you do your Osfo, then you can hit it with this, and it's an added layer of protection. Okay, then we move along to our finishing up that boost, that brake booster, or those parts that we just hit with the red oxide. This one is really a time-proven product. It's the Rustoleum. They call it the high performance, and on the back it says that it's flat black. But when you spray this on, it's not really a dead flat black. It's got just a little bit of shine to it. I mean, just a little bit. It's not dead flat. I use that as almost like a base coat when I'm doing the radiator mounts, power steering boxes, and all those. I use all this, and then I top it off with Rustoleum's clear coat. They only had